Hello, everybody. Sh.Khamidova is here. I'm a student of EDD program at Webster University, and I'm from Tashkent campus. So today I'm going to present my final project. This is the research, this is the draft, let's say presentation of a draft of a research project that I have started last year. It is based on my own experience, my work experience, and it's called Integration of Hybrid Mode Studies in Rural Areas of Uzbekistan, an opportunity for disabled students. Why would I like to do a presentation of this and make a research about that? Because I myself come from a rural area, and I myself have experienced how effective hybrid mode of studies can be. The hybrid mode of studies allowed me to get my MA degree. And I would love to implement this opportunity to those who study in my hometown, and especially for people with disabilities. Okay, this is the presentation that I'm doing in frames of ADOC 7120 subject that we had. Okay, so let us start. What is the summary of the project now? So the topic of hybrid mode of teaching is widely illuminated in researches, projects, reports related to digital pedagogy, as digital platforms are considered to be very agile, flexible. So in this research, my main topic will be the analysis of the outcomes of integration of simultaneous hybrid classes, especially at my former workplace in the rural area of Uzbekistan, the southern part of Uzbekistan, particularly the language school Global Education in Karshi. This is Kashkadarya region of Uzbekistan. Okay, so let's go on. Let's talk about the study focus now. The study focus are several questions. Three mainly. These are what are the benefits and the drawbacks of implementing hybrid classes in private institutions for teachers, for learners, especially disabled students. I have decided to narrow my research to disabled students. So next question of the focus would be what steps should the institution, authorities or owners or stakeholders take in order to make sure that the process of hybrid mode transition is smooth and eventually successful, because it has its own limitations, and each region has its own peculiarities. So, and the last final question would be, how would a teacher benefit in the process of integration of this innovation into the classroom? Because it's not only about students, but also a big transformation for teachers to go through. Okay, so next, I would like to talk about the outcome of the project. So the study would be especially useful for teachers who want to try out teaching in hybrid classrooms. Of course, it's a big responsibility. You will have to monitor two sites at the same time. And maybe the teacher would need an assistant at the beginning. It is also considered in my work. So as educators need more guidance to set new technologies into modern learning spaces. Well, many teachers nowadays find it difficult to utilize multimedia tools. However, it is the demand of the time. Everything is digitalized. Not only digitalized, we already have AI tools working for us. So in synchronous environments, in rural areas, it is still new. So this can be due to a lack of expertise in facilitating of simultaneous face-to-face and synchronous environments. So that would be, let's say, for now, it's a limitation, but it has to be investigated on how to overcome all these things, all these obstacles. So if talking about the knowledge base, I mainly used my, I can say that this project is a result of transformative learning course that I have done. in MA18. Why? Because I was able to connect my own experience with the knowledge that I got in the during the studies. So by the help and for the knowledge base of this case of integrating of hybrid mode of classes, I mainly got it from the literature review. I looked through many articles about integration and what were the limits, what were advantages, what were disadvantages, what were stages, what has to be done for that. So by the help of the literature review, I learned about the, let's say, experience of other countries implementing the hybrid mode of studies into the classroom. So number one thing that I have learned in literature review is that digital platforms are still an innovation for the most part of rural Uzbekistan. However, any innovation is likely to be slow in acceptance and demands preparation of users, teachers, and students here. So integration of new method of teaching should come in parallel with preparation of users. So even though we can bring the technology, the people have to be able to use it, especially teachers and students. So there has to be, let's say, a prior preparation for that. Okay, this is number one. I didn't make 10, it's only 7. However, this is my personal experience, I would say. So although integration of hybrid mode seems time-consuming and complicated, the study of Victoria University in Melbourne, as I have learned in Australia, revealed that usage of agile platforms significantly improved the involvement outside the classroom, made teachers more accessible, and provided high-order thinking skills, which is a sensible advantage. And it comes from Bloom's taxonomy, which is very actual and is considered to be a main part of digital learning. Okay, so skill number 3 that I have learned, not skill, but expertise, in order to evaluate the advantages and disadvantages of implementation of hybrid synchronous mode of teaching in private learning center in Karshi, where I worked. The following steps should be considered. As I said, it has to be preparation. So before integrating anything, the technology and the people who will be teaching and using it have to be prepared. So nowadays there are 68 teachers who work in 3 branches of this language school. We have 3 branches in Karshi. So for this stage, we have a special application. It's called Selfie for Teachers. It was elaborated by Uzbek Learning Center, national one. It's a digital competence assessment, rather complicated. But it can be utilized to understand how prepared teachers are. So the test is free and it's a multiple choice test. I have done it myself as well. I got a very good result. However, in order to pass it, it requires some preparation, let's say. So the first thing is getting to know the background of teachers, how well they are prepared. So the next thing would be training. As I said, as has been mentioned, the Global Education and Karshi Learning Center has its own mobile application. It's called Roboteach, I'm sorry, it's called Roboteach, and we've got a digital platform where we can hold online sessions, and we have already experienced that last year when the winter was very cold in Uzbekistan. However, it was only for a short time, so it wasn't used on regular basis. So a professional training on how to use the platform and the main steps of facilitating blended classes is required to be conducted before the learning center announces the opening of hybrid classes. So everybody has to be trained first. Okay, this is the number 1. Then it has to go for piloting. We have to first experience how well it will go. So as soon as the training is over, the participants of the training will be offered to participate in blended classes as students. So they will behave as students in the classroom. And that will be a micro-teaching first for teachers and the participants on the class, and they will have an opportunity to experience what will students see during the classes. The next thing this what I have learned in MA18. This was in the frames of course evaluating training programs. There is a special evaluation of the study that can be designed in accordance to 4 levels of Kirkpatrick evaluation levels. And there is also one more thing I learned about. It's ROI, return on investment. So that means if this is a calculation of financial resources, so will the hybrid mode worth the financial cost of the trainings that have been implemented, and will it be beneficial? And will it be beneficial? That's what I learned. And the last one, as I said, it was transformative for me. I was able to put together my work experience and the knowledge I gained during MA18. As I said, especially evaluation of training programs course, and I got motivated to implement a great shift in educational system in my hometown, and it is almost possible. The only thing is to prepare the technological base. It's almost done. We just don't know how to use it correctly. And of course, the teachers and students that has to take trainings for that. Okay. So we go to the third part of the presentation now, why my research can be transformative. So I've got 4 points here that I'm going to talk about. And the first thing is that by the help of hybrid mode classes, students will get access to resources. So especially disabled people who cannot attend the face-to-face classes. And since hybrid learning combines traditional face-to-face instructions with online courses, it can provide students in rural areas with access to broader range of educational materials. Of course, then we go to personalized learning for students with special needs. I mean, sometimes they cannot attend spatial places on the special time. However, by integrating technology, students can learn at their own pace. And this individualized approach can help cater to different learning styles and needs, I think. Skills development, of course. So when you are studying online classes or hybrid mode, it requires you to get prepared first. So you get some digital skills on how to use Zoom, for example, on how to work with many tools on, for example, completing your assignments after that. And the last one is flexibility, I would say, because the hybrid models allow for more flexible schedules, which can accommodate students and teachers' diverse needs, including those related like family obligations or health issues or something like that. Okay, so let's go on. It also can develop research studies. How? Let's say how. So if I do this project and if I work in this field, I think I would need some additional research studies. For example, I would need assessment surveys, for example, conduct surveys in rural communities on their attitude to hybrid mode studies, or what do they know about this. Then, of course, as I said, one of the main thing is piloting new tool first. It will be examined on teachers. Then there might be like mock groups that can take part and see whether they benefit or not. Of course, learning the case studies. I mean, as I said, from the literature review, I have learned the experience of other countries already implementing a hybrid mode. Then collaboration of with local universities. I mean, since it's hybrid, we would need some space maybe. I mean, if it's very broad, we already have 3 branches, but when working with local universities, partner in higher education institution can impact, let's say, the outcomes as well. So we also have to talk about the focus groups with teachers, parents, students. It has to be a collaborative, let's say, project to be implemented. It can't happen at once. I mean, it requires a lot of, let's say, preparation and contribution from different stakeholders. And of course, technology utilization studies. As I said, it's a rural area, and most of students do not have access to internet, to technology. They mostly have their phones only. So it's also related to investment, having technology, and then using technology. So this must be special training, online or offline, to make it all come true. So I can say this is it for now. Lots of work has been done, theoretically at least. I hope that my doctorate program will give a great start and motivation for me to implement it, not just to write the research paper, but also do it in practice. Thank you very much, everyone.